Hello and welcome to Auto Care Master. Today we are diving into some of the car care secrets that can save you a serious amount of money. You know, the kind of insider tricks that the pros don't always want you to know about.
So let me ask you something. Does this sound familiar? You look at your bank statement and realize you're spending a small fortune every single year on basic cleaning and what seem like pretty simple repairs. It's a really common frustration, and today we're going to tackle it head on.
All right, let's get right into it. We are about to pull back the curtain on some incredibly simple, super low-cost hacks that'll keep your car looking amazing and running just right, all while keeping your money where it should be, in your pocket.
So first up, Section 1. We're talking about getting that showroom shine without this showroom price tag. You are going to be amazed at what you can do with just a few things you probably already have lying around the house. The results are immediate and look totally professional. Okay, check out the cost difference on this one. It's just wild. Foggy, yellowed headlights, we've all seen them. Now a shop might tell you that you need a full replacement, and that's going to cost you hundreds. But here's the secret. Just grab half a lemon or a little bit of non-gel toothpaste. The citric acid in the lemon or the super mild abrasive in the toothpaste is perfect for just eating away that cloudy oxidation. Your headlights will be dramatically clearer for less than $1.
Next up, let's talk about glass. Getting that crystal clear, invisible look does not require some fancy, expensive cleaner. For that really tough grime on your windshield, believe it or not, an apple cuts right through it because of the malic acid. For just your everyday window cleaning, a simple 50-50 mix of white vinegar and water is all you need. And here's the pro tip. Use crumpled newspaper. Its fibers are super dense, so they don't leave behind that annoying lint, giving you a perfect, streak-free shine every single time. Now this is a brilliant little fix for those minor, annoying scratches. Before you even think about rushing off to a body shop, just try this. Put a little WD-40 on a microfiber cloth. It'll temporarily fill in those light little scratches in the clear coat, making them pretty much disappear. It can save you a pretty costly trip for what's really just a simple cosmetic issue.
Let's move on to Section 2. Here, we are going to tackle some of those common, really frustrating problems that seem like a huge deal, but honestly, they often have some surprisingly simple solutions that you can absolutely do yourself.
The check engine light. It can cause instant panic, right? But hold on. Before you do anything else, just check your gas cap. Seriously, it's one of the top reasons that light comes on. If the cap isn't sealed right, it messes with the fuel system's vacuum, and the car's computer flags it as a fault. So just make sure it's on tight, give it at least 3 good clicks, and check that the little rubber seal looks okay. A lot of the time, that's all it takes.
So what if an old error code is just kind of stuck in the system even after you fixed something? Well, you can perform a hard reset on your car's computer. This basically clears out its memory. Now, the most important thing here is safety. Always disconnect that negative terminal first, and you reconnect it last. That's the rule. Touching the 2 disconnected cables together drains any leftover power from the system and gives it a totally fresh start.
And this is exactly why knowing how to do that is so powerful. As this quote from All Car Talk points out, a simple reset can often fix the issue, but a shop might charge you for expensive diagnostics first. Knowing how to do this yourself can save you from paying for tests or parts that you might not even need in the first place. Here is another massive money saver. If your seatbelt is slow to retract, don't just assume the whole thing is broken. Over time, the belt itself just gets dirty and sticky. Now, a dealership might quote you a few $100s to replace the entire assembly. The 5-minute fix? A simple wipe down with some silicone lubricant on a cloth. It'll glide just like new for a tiny fraction of the cost. Is your automatic window acting up a little bit? You know, not going all the way up or down? It's not always a broken motor. Sometimes it is just a little software glitch. Before you head to the shop, just try this simple recalibration. This procedure just resets the window's memory, basically reteaching it where the top and bottom are. It costs nothing and takes less than a minute.
And now for Section 3. This part is all about empowerment. We're going to give you some simple diagnostic techniques so you can figure out what's wrong yourself. It puts you in the driver's seat when you talk to any mechanic.
A slow tire leak can be so frustrating to find, but you can use the exact same method the pros do with just some soap and water. Spray the soapy water all over the tire. The clue you are looking for is what technicians call a bloom of tiny bubbles. It's a spot where new, tiny bubbles just keep forming and growing. That's it. That's the exact spot where your leak is. Not sure if your tires are inflated to the right pressure? The chalk test is this brilliant, super low-tech way to find out. Just draw a thick chalk line across the tread of your tire and then drive forward a few feet. The way the chalk wears off tells you everything you need to know.
If it wears off evenly, your pressure is perfect. If it just wears off in the center, they're overinflated. And if it wears away on the outer edges, they are underinflated. Simple as that.
All right, now that you know how to diagnose some things on your own, let's move into our final section, using that knowledge as your absolute best tool. Being informed is, without a doubt, your #1 defense against those common and really costly upsells at the repair shop.
The most important thing here is to just be an informed consumer, so always check your owner's manual before you agree to these fluid flushes. Always ask if your brake rotors can be resurfaced instead of just replaced. You should also know that most simple punctures in the tread can be safely and cheaply plugged. And while it's true some all-wheel drive cars are sensitive, you should always get a second opinion before you agree to replace all 4 tires just because of a single flat.
And really, that's the main takeaway from all of this. All these hacks and tips, they all lead back to one powerful truth. Being an informed, engaged car owner is the single best way to save money. Your knowledge is what protects you from those unnecessary repairs and gives you real confidence in taking care of your own vehicle.
If you found these secrets helpful, we'd really appreciate it if you'd give this explainer a like and maybe share it with a friend who also loves their car. And subscribing to AutoCare Master means you won't miss out on any more content that is designed to put you in control of your car's maintenance. So the final question is for you. Now that you're in control, what are you going to fix first? Let us know down in the comments. Thanks so much for watching, and we hope you'll join us for the next one.
Welcome, car lovers, to AutoCare Master. Today, we're going to decode the secret messages your vehicle sends you every single day. You can think of these as the early warnings that can tell you exactly what your car needs well before a tiny issue snowballs into a major headache.
So let's start with this powerful idea. What if you could become your car's very first detective? By learning how to spot these early warning signs, you can seriously save yourself a whole lot of money, and let's be honest, a whole lot of stress.
We're going to walk through a 4-part journey today. First up, we are going to decode those strange noises. Then, we are going to figure out what those mysterious leaks are trying to tell you. After that, we will put together a simple DIY detective kit. And finally, we will cover how to protect yourself from repair scams.
All right, let's start with the sounds. Your car has its own language, you know, and those weird and often kind of worrying noises, well, that is its way of talking to you.
We have all been there. You turn the key and all you get is that dreaded click, click, click. This is the #1 classic sign of a dead battery. The right move here is a jump start, not just turning the key over and over again. That can actually do more harm than good. Okay, a grinding sound or a really high-pitched squeal when you hit the brakes, that is a sound you absolutely cannot ignore. It is a crystal clear signal that your brake pads are worn out, and that, my friends, is a major safety issue.
You know that high-pitched shriek that seems to come from under the hood? It is pretty hard to miss. Well, it usually points to a problem with your serpentine belt. That is that long, winding belt you see at the front of your engine. And it is crucial because it powers so many important things like your alternator and water pump.
So, what if you are stopped at a red light and your car suddenly sounds like a ticking clock? Well, that is your engine trying to tell you something really important. It is almost always a sign that your oil level is low, and you should check it right away to prevent any serious engine damage.
Now let's move on from sounds to the visual clues. You know those mysterious spots on your driveway? They are not just a mess. They are actually messages straight from your car.
Believe it or not, there's a simple color code to these leaks. If you see a light brown to black spot, that is probably motor oil. Red could be transmission or power steering fluid. And those bright colors like yellow, green, or pink, they almost always point to a coolant leak. And hey, if it is clear, it is most likely just water from your air conditioning, which is totally normal. Here is a super simple trick you can do with literally 0 tools. It is called the cardboard test. All you do is slide a clean piece of cardboard under your car overnight. In the morning, you will have a perfect map of any leaks, showing you exactly what fluid it is and where it is coming from. Easy, right? Okay, so now that you know what to look for and listen for, let's talk about a few simple diagnostic tricks. The cool thing is, you do not need a fancy garage to be a good car detective. Now, this might sound a little strange, but have you ever heard of this? It is a classic mechanic's trick for pinpointing engine noises, and you would be surprised at how effective it is. So here is how it works. With the engine running, and please be very careful of any moving belts or fans, place the metal tip of a long screwdriver on a non-moving part of the engine, then press the handle right up to your ear.
The sound travels right up the screwdriver, letting you isolate exactly which part is making all that noise. Hey, remember that clicking sound we talked about earlier? Well, sometimes it is not a dead battery, it is just a bad connection. That fuzzy corrosion on your battery terminals can cause all sorts of problems. But this simple 5-step process using baking soda and water can clean them right up and make sure you have a solid connection.
So once you have diagnosed a potential issue, the next step is usually a trip to the repair shop. And this is really important. Let's talk about how to be an informed customer, not an easy target.
A really common tactic is the unnecessary repair. You know, you go in for a simple oil change, and suddenly they are recommending hundreds or thousands of dollars of work. Your best defense is simple. Always get a second opinion from another trusted mechanic before you agree to any big repairs.
Here are a few simple habits that can protect you. Number 1, always get a written estimate before any work starts. Also, ask to see the old parts that they replaced. And it is a great idea to compare what the shop recommends with your car's official maintenance schedule in the owner's manual. A little bit of homework goes a long, long way.
So by learning to listen for these sounds and look for these visual clues, you've really gone from just being a driver to being an informed, empowered car owner. You now have the tools to actually understand what your car is trying to tell you.
Thank you so much for watching. If you found this explainer helpful, please do us a favor and hit that like button, share it with a friend, and of course, subscribe to the Auto Care Master channel for more practical tips. We really appreciate your support, and we hope to see you in the next one.